Hello everyone, my name is Apollonia and this is the first episode of Scriptwriting Tips, where we're gonna talk about the beginning of Act 2 and how to find it. I'm gonna show you how to locate the point where the second act starts, which is the easiest plot point there is to find. Joseph Campbell says that the protagonist at some point moves from its known world to a new and unknown and out of the ordinary world, which actually means that the story moves from Act 1 to Act 2. So all you have to do is to find the moment where the actual journey begins, and that's the beginning of Act 2. It's when the adventure actually starts. If you struggle locating where the actual journey begins, I have a tip for you that might help you. Here's my method in locating Act 2. Ask yourself the following questions. Well, you have to answer them too. The first question is this: what's the story about? Don't try too hard. Don't try to make a summary or anything. Imagine that a friend asks you, "Hey, what's the story of this movie?" What's your first reply? It's about a kid who is studying to be a wizard. That's enough. Wouldn't you say something like that about Harry Potter? Or it's about a man who's playing a game that's gonna change his whole life. That's the movie The Game, by the way. The second question is, when does this happen in the story? When does it really start happening? When the kid goes to school for the first time? Or when the game actually begins for the man? So what's the story of the movie Back to the Future? A 17-year-old high school student accidentally time travels into the past. When does this happen in the story? Marty time travels back to 1955. That's the beginning of Act 2. So you see, Act 2 begins when the actual story begins. It's the time when he passes from his world to another one, an unknown world to him. And what's the story of Jurassic Park? A paleontologist is invited to a theme park where he finds live dinosaurs. When does this happen in the story? Alan, our protagonist in Jurassic Park, invited by Hammond, lands to the island where the park is, and he's shocked to see live dinosaurs. His knowledge of the current world is based on the fact that dinosaurs do not exist anymore. In fact, that's exactly his scientific field. He knows it well. He's a professional on that. However, in this island, he finds out that dinosaurs do exist. It's the first time he realizes what the Jurassic Park actually is. And that's when Act 2 begins, when the protagonist realizes that there is a new and unknown world to him. What's the story in The Matrix? A programmer finds out that the world he lives in is not real. It's just a virtual world, a simulation known as the Matrix. When does this happen in the story? Act 2 begins when Neo wakes up outside the Matrix in the real world. In his everyday life, he is a computer programmer and a hacker. That's his world, even though he feels there's something wrong with it. When Neo wakes up from the Matrix, he actually finds out that there is another world he didn't know about until now, an unknown world. And now he's there and he's going to discover all about it. That's when Neo's journey really begins, and that's the beginning of Act 2. Let's see some more examples. What's the story of The Godfather? In The Godfather, Michael Corleone is our protagonist. He is the youngest son of a crime boss. He reluctantly joins the mafia, although he disapproves of his family business, and gets so involved in the cycle of violence that he eventually becomes what he always loathed. When does this happen in the story? Somewhere in the beginning of the story, Michael explains his decision that although he loves his family, he doesn't approve of their business methods, and we clearly understand that he wants to stay away from them. He doesn't want having to do anything with the mafia. But when his father is being attacked, Michael decides to go back and protect his family. The moment he reads about the attack in the newspaper is crucial because he gets so frustrated that eventually he decides to go back and protect his father and his family. It's the moment when Michael's journey begins. So this is a new world to Michael. Not that he didn't know about this world, but this is out of the ordinary to him because he didn't want to be part of it. Let's see another example. What's the story of Catch Me If You Can? It's already in the title. It's about a kid, Frank, who's running away. He's running away from his family and he becomes one of the greatest con men ever, but he has always to be on the run. When does this happen in the story? He's a con man, he's a fraud, and he's always on the run. So when do we see him run for the first time? It's when his parents announce him that they're getting a divorce, and he has to choose which one he would like to stay with. Avoiding to make a choice, he runs away. That's when Frank's journey begins. The moment he runs away for the first time, because after that, after leaving his home, he will start turning into a real con artist. Groundhog Day. What's the story in Groundhog Day? A cynical TV weatherman finds himself reliving the same day over and over. When does this happen in the story? It's when the day is repeating itself for the first time. That's when Phil's journey begins. The moment he experiences that something is strange, that there's something wrong with this world he lives now. Something seems to be out of the ordinary, and that's when Act 2 begins, on the first repetition of Phil's day. So that's all for now. Thanks for watching my first episode on story structure. I will continue to release videos on how to find the various plot points, sharing tips, explaining structure, and analyzing movies and stories. So stick around and let me know what you'd like to see. Feel free to share your comments or tips in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video and found it useful, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more of this content, hit the subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching. This is Apollonia and Scriptwriting Tips.